Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Geek Authority's opinions, reviews, and commentaries. This is where I kind of put things out there on the table, whether I like or dislike something. These are my personal points of views based on my experiences, and I just want to share them with everybody. And sometimes they're positive, sometimes they're negative. And this route, I'm going to go with the experiences I had throughout the holiday season, starting, I want to say, back in August all the way through December of 2020. Give you some experiences and warnings, things that I've actually cut out of my life because I just didn't want to deal with it, and the fact that they were kind of a little fraudulent in how they dealt with their customer, so to speak, me being the customer. First, I want to start off with a company. They're based in London. They're called 1216. Now, it was for the longest time, they had some really cool items from the Gary Anderson series, Space 1999, action figures and props and things like that. Really expensive, and, with the pandemic and people, being out of work or just on unemployment, it was hard to do anything and talk them into possibly doing some sort of payment plan over the months. Well, as it turns out, they granted that opportunity. And what happened was I didn't get any acknowledgments, no balances due, and I kind of it got to the point where 2-3 emails, and one of their emails they said, so, I don't think we can do anything for you. Obviously, we're not making you happy. And I don't know if it's a UK thing or a British thing, but we here in America like receipts or acknowledgement of payments and balance due. That way there's a record of the system and what's been paid, what's been not paid, especially since they hadn't sent out the item and it wasn't completely built yet to be shipped or anything. So that's the first time I've done that. I've learned from my mistakes. Don't buy anything or don't put down a pre-order on anything until it's actually out. You run the risk of things like this happening, the acknowledgement of payments. You have things like running out of stock or losing your account. It's just better and safer if it's in stock. I don't even buy from Amazon unless it's an in-stock item, a pre-order this or whatever. No, because pre-order dates changed, shipping changes, all kinds of things can happen. Wait till it's physically there. And if you're not meant to get it, you're not meant to get it, but you're not out money, you're not out time, you're not out aggravation and all that other stuff. So 1216 is one of those European companies that just shut me down just because I was trying to look for balances and acknowledgement of payment. So bye-bye. Another company who's, ironically enough, they run this in London, and I even wrote them several times. I was hoping to even get them on my show, the Geek Authority show, is the Anderson store. Now, they, in my particular case, just didn't understand the concept of they kept sending me these emails about, again, these pre-orders and stuff, and I wouldn't do it. Finally, I ordered something and waited and waited and waited, and I never got it. And I wrote and I wrote, and this was in stock, supposedly. Turns out it wasn't in stock. There was no notification. They had to do the whole verification thing. And maybe it took me 3 or 4 emails, because most of these companies don't have direct phone numbers because they don't want to talk to the people, especially when they make mistakes. And I always thought that was with just the bigger companies, but no, even the little guys kind of push things under the rug when they can. But the end result was I didn't want to deal with them. It was, again, the frustration, the following up, whatever. I ended up getting my refund, which I got to give them credit. They did that right away once I kind of blew my top. Anybody who knows me, I can get really forceful and legal on people when they deal with my money or what they promise or what they advertise. And I emailed them all the information that I had, and they couldn't deny it. So anyway, one of those to avoid. Now, I love Amazon in terms of the concept of everything you need, everything you want, from food to items, can be bought on Amazon. However, Jeff Bezos really screwed up on the logistics department. I would say, and I'm not joking, literally from maybe July through all the way up until Christmas, December of 2020, their logistics department, it was completely screwed up. What do I mean? Just so you know, Amazon Logistics is their own delivery branch of Amazon. They would rather use that than UPS, FedEx, what's the other one? On Track, and all the other ones. They're the top on the list. Although they do use, USPS and all other things when they have to. Here's what happened to me. I've had items misdelivered. I had items left on the street. Their drivers took a picture of the item on the street, and do you think it was there when I got home? No. And that happened at least 3 or 4 times, arguing with them, and then having to reorder, the whole reorder process. And now when you call them and there's a problem with the item, like, well, let's see what your options are. Well, renewal is not, or reshipping is not part of it. We could refund. It's like they don't give you all the information at the moment you buy something. The other thing is I've had items misdelivered, delivered to someone else. Literally, I've got notices. It was delivered to XYZ address. And I'm like, I don't live there. So it's like, I've had items not show up at all, lost in the mail. Of course, they never used mail. It might have actually got to me, believe it or not. But Amazon Logistics, I literally, if you check my phone bill, I probably called them in 4 months, not exaggerating, 80 times. To follow up on a follow-up, to follow up on a follow-up. A lot of times they say they'll call you back. They don't. I took it so far, almost every call, probably November and December, to talk to supervisors. Again, I would recommend that if you ever have problems with a particular company, go to the supervisor or the person you're talking to, if you even are lucky enough to talk to a human being, and not sit on the phone for 40 minutes, or we'll call you back, and don't do that, and all these other things. So don't mess with the little guys, because they have no. Another thing about Amazon Logistics was their ability to contradict themselves. I'd sit on one call for 90 minutes, one call almost 2 hours, talk to 5 different people. Each one would have a different story about a particular rule. And by the time you get to the top person, it's like, XYZ is what this person said, 1, 2, 3 is what that person said, and they're like, oh, really? Oh, I'm so sorry, and then constantly apologizing. It's a training issue. I'm like, you're darn right, it's a training issue. Don't tell me one thing and do another. Don't tell me one thing and then someone else tell me something different, and then someone else tell me something different than the other two, and it's like, it was an absolute mess. So if you can avoid using logistics, and you can put in your accounts, in your Amazon accounts, prefer not using logistics. I'm sure I'm not the only one who had these problems. I know at least 6 other people who had Amazon logistics issues. So it's a mess. I mean, the people that got managing it, at least locally in California, and how they do the routing, and it just blows my mind away. So enough on that. Okay, now, I am a big Hallmark keepsake ornament fan. So is my husband, Michael, and we enjoy collecting them because they're usually sci-fi related, or Snoopy, or Peanuts, or now Grogu this past year. But let me tell you, twice this happened. One was supposed to be a gift for Michael, and they actually sent me the wrong item. They said it was in stock, ordered it early, in stock, got it, blah, 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 sent me the wrong item. Told me on the phone, okay, we'll take care of it right away. It's in stock, blah, 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 da, da, da. Next thing I know, I'm getting an email from Hallmark. Oh, sorry, we're refunding you because, we're completely out of stock. And when I called 3 times to find out why was I told, this was in stock, why was I told the day I got the wrong item, why wasn't it, shipped right away, or why didn't she know it was out of stock, or, and forget the fact they pulled the wrong item and sent me the wrong item that I had to send back. They just completely didn't get the order, and I didn't get what I want. So I don't want anything to do with a company that kind of baits and switches you. That's called, the legal term is called bait and switch. You can call your lawyers, you can call, legal, 1-800-LEGAL, and find out what bait and switch is. Basically, it's, okay, we have an item, we want you to get it, whether it's in store, at location, or online, and then when you get it, you either look at it, find it, and it's not there, not available, or you buy it because it's in stock, I'm using air quotes here, and it turns out not to be. And as a result of that, it's like, it's hard to what's the word? It's hard to have faith in a company that that you used, throughout history, at least, it's my experiences with, in this case in particular with Hallmark, have been absolutely, fine. But this year, now you can blame the pandemic. Yes, the pandemic screwed up a whole bunch of stuff in terms of, whatever. But the things we're talking about are things that I'm upset about is you don't, you can't blame COVID for picking up the wrong box on the shelf and shipping it. You can't blame COVID for, oops, we forgot to ship it. You can't blame COVID for, I'm going to leave it on the street. Those kinds of things. Other things, obviously the time, less people, that kind of reasonable stuff. But the things that where people have to use their heads, or rather, should I put it, not using their heads, are what I'm talking about, that just drive you crazy. Ends up being something you order in June, doesn't come till December. Now that shouldn't be, if it comes at all, by the way. So let me move on from Hallmark. As you can see, I've had some fabulous experiences. Okay, who's after Hallmark? Oh God, Walmart. Here's another perfect example of bait and switch. Get this, Walmart has two different systems. They have their online ordering and then they have their website. You think they talk to each other? You think there's a connection? No, they literally have on the site and the app, are you buying this from the website? Are you buying this from the app? Now, what the difference is, I don't know, because I'm assuming they have some sort of warehouse building somewhere, everywhere, whatever. But the other catch with the bait and switch is they also do the thing where, oh, it's in stock, you order, oh, you get to the checkout, not in stock. It's like, okay. Or you order it and you find out later, oh, it's no longer in stock. It's like, okay, when I ordered it, it was in stock. Someone should have pulled it off the shelf and put my name on it. Forget the fact it takes 9 weeks to get to you again, but that's one thing. Okay, here's the other thing that bothers me about Walmart. They have some exclusive items which are cool, and during the COVID, you think they'd kind of adapt to it. Well, there's a thing where here's a particular item, and in order to buy it, you got to spend $35. It's like, well, okay, then you spend the time finding, okay, what do I need that will bring me up to $35? Then you find out when you get to the checkout and the ordering process, oh, these aren't available. These are only available online. Well, if you're on the app, then you go to the online and try to order the exact same thing. Oh, this is only available for the app. It's like, really? So the left hand doesn't even like the right hand, so they don't even care about each other? It just blew my mind away. That happened to me twice this past holiday season. I literally told them, take me off the list, close my app account. I deleted it from my phone, and I have never been to that website since November. And I mean, besides all the political things they do with how they get their merchandise and treat children and all that other stuff, they are a mismanaged mess in terms of their website and their app. They didn't adapt very well at all. They could learn a few lessons from Amazon and Kmart and Target, especially Target. Target's really good. They introduced the pickup. You can order it online and pick it up, and if it's not there, you can't buy it. They won't take your money. Not Walmart. Walmart is like Hallmark, bait and switch. So that's my take on Walmart. Now, another big crisis I had is I have the two pictures up there because Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same people, which is, Zucker blank, as I like to call him. I use a profanity there because I don't like his politics. I don't like how he runs the website. Well, after a little over 9 years of creating a Facebook page called The Geek Authority and putting so much content up there and reviews and all kinds of things, one morning in May of 2020, I got up in the morning, ready to do my next day's article or posting or whatever, found out that my entire Facebook, The Geek Authority website page was gone. And then I couldn't do any posting for 3 days. I'm like, okay, I'm being punished for what? Didn't get an email, didn't get a notification, didn't get an IM, didn't get anything. Tried to respond. I must have said by the 7th, I think I was nasty and using all kinds of swear words like, whatever. So I vowed never to be on Facebook again. So I have not done an original posting in terms of the content I used to have. My Geek Authority page is gone on there. I do have the Instagram, which I found out later that Facebook owned. But, I do limited posting there. And even there, it's not as interesting. My favorite social medias are Twitter right now. It is Twitter. as well as my own website, and then of course the YouTube channel. But definitely, you want to be aware of Facebook. Facebook changes their rules. You know, 1 minute they're politically, as far as I'm concerned, they're always politically incorrect. Zuckerblank just, chopped off Trump, and everybody's saying, well, 4 years too late. It's like, he was a Republican and supported him, and it's like, okay, you got an idiot running the country, you got an idiot running Facebook, and clearly doesn't give a bleepity bleep about the users. All it is the advertising and the money and all that other stuff. It's like, when you're a billionaire, I guess your IQ drops, as well as other body parts, but let's not go there. I'm going to give a half comment, half negative about Twitter. Twitter, again, is a little more, I don't understand Twitter. Let's put it this way. Sometimes I post things and they're my opinions or my beliefs, and I'm not, profanity like other people are. And they don't get posted. But there's no reason, like Facebook, there's no okay, we couldn't post this because this is too political or this is wrong or what. Nothing like that. It's just it doesn't post. And that's happened to me probably 20, 25 times now. And, it gets old after a while, especially when you're trying to communicate with things. And, you know how that goes. It's a little confusing. I like Twitter because I like a lot of people on it, a lot of celebrities and things. I keep up to date with information. But in the long run, Twitter as well has been somewhat interesting, but not completely difficult in that regard. Again, I want to remind everybody that these are my opinions and my experiences based on actual, things that have happened in terms of difficulty. A lot of these places, especially Facebook and Walmart, don't have, and Hallmark, I just found out this past holiday season, don't have phone numbers. You can't talk to human beings anymore. Fortunately, Amazon still has it. You'll spend your hours on the phone with them, logistics, trying to find and figure out and if your package was sent, where your package was sent, did it even get there? If it got there, did they put it where somebody can grab it? That kind of stuff. But it seems like corporations now are just kind of getting away from the customer service aspect of communicating with a human being. They rely on, the website, which is absolutely useless. And I'll tell you some other experiences as well. Let's go back to. Okay, this particular company is HAAWK, Hawk. This is the most annoying they call it a third party. Apparently, any snippet of music, any kind of whatever specifically on YouTube, they block you or they tell you can't, in certain regions of the world you can't do it because it's already copyrighted. I literally can't stress this enough. If you do music and put music in your background, there is what's called duty-free or regional-free or copyright-free music out there. And you can use it. My only major suggestion is put the link toward where you got the music and then the statement that says this is duty-free, royalty-free, copyright-free, that kind of thing, with your YouTube at all times. Why? Because I am not exaggerating. Probably at least 20, 25 times I've had to deal with this hawk who put up, some sort of, block saying I borrowed this music or whatever. I went to the sources of everybody that on my the Geek Authority channel, the music that I use for my intros, all kinds of things, and literally got the authorization and the permission. You can see it in my videos below on the descriptions of where it came from and where you find it. You too can use it as well. It's all duty-free, copyright-free. But for some reason, YouTube uses this company or agrees with this company or whatever. I have written to YouTube several times regarding this. Let me contact your lawyers. Let's put them on the poo-poo list. Let's get these people out of here. I have no idea. Maybe someone could write me and tell me how Hawk works or how YouTube invented Hawk, or it's actually YouTube that's doing this. But I got to tell you, YouTube is weirdly, and I mean it sincerely, weirdly strict about this Hawk company. And I literally maybe 20, 25 cases where I had to to basically appeal the whatever was going on. And every single one, they released the music that was done. Now, the weird part is, and why I think this might be a YouTube scam, because they won't respond to me about, getting rid of Hawk. They won't respond to me about, blocking them and leaving me alone. They won't respond to me about the communications I've had, of the continual communications about the same music with the same information and the same release and stuff at all times. So I'm tending to believe that, I don't know, YouTube's got this other department called Hawk. If you look on YouTube, there is a Hawk and they do music and stuff, but I don't understand why they're flagging people. If you type in YouTube, the search window, and type in HAAWK, you will see how many complaints are out there by them. Personally, I have blocked them so they can't send me or do anything with me. I have told YouTube at least 20 times, get them off my back, get me your legal department, I want to file for them a complaint. Of course, YouTube doesn't respond. So just to let you know, like Facebook and Walmart and Hallmark and YouTube, and I'm sure probably Twitter and Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, you will see that they treat customers very, very poorly. On the face and the front, they basically want you to, watch for their ads and the advertisers that advertise. It's all about the money. But the bottom line is you can't get service. They don't treat people fair, and unfortunately, unless you have a big lawyer and you have lots of money, you're really not going to make much of a statement. But you do need to file your claims, you do need to file your appeals, and you do need to write to make the problem known, so that when this all backwashes later in maybe some class action suit or some new law that comes about saying that big business can't, decide who they want to, be nice to, as far as the internet goes and copyrights and all that, at least you'll be on that bandwagon of having a history of a problem. Again, it's just the big bully picking on the little guy. From my perspective, I can't speak from the rich people who have no problems like I do. But just be warned, if you use music, make sure you put your copyright information, and not copyright, but where the source is and that it's free or duty free, copyright free, that kind of situation. I guarantee you it won't make a difference to YouTube unless you're a rich millionaire, apparently. You'll probably get blocked by this Hawk company. So just be warned. They're out there, and I don't know their purpose. I don't know who they are, but nobody will get back to me on that kind of information. And like Facebook and Walmart, they both don't want you to contact them. The communication is, there's no phone number. You can't get customer service. You get online, you get this emergency chat thing, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time, it doesn't. Go figure. But they don't want to hear the negative stuff. So that's just my opinion. Remember, these are all my experiences and opinions. So I've got actual experiences and facts and pictures and things and emails and stuff that can document that what I'm dealing with in terms of all these companies is absolutely true. Did I get apologies? Did I get I'm so sorry's? Only from Amazon Logistics did they actually constantly apologize, which I'll give them credit in that regard, and they tried to fix as much as they could. It took forever though, and sometimes I talk to 5 or 6 people about the same issue, but they're the only ones that actually allowed me to communicate my issue and make an attempt to solve it in some way. It's funny with Amazon, Amazon Logistics. I actually had to order something 4 times, the same item, because it either didn't get shipped, it got lost, it was misdelivered. And what was the 4th reason? It never came. It said they shipped it and stuff, but it never got to a destination. They have no way to trace it. So it was the 5th time that I actually got it. I'm going to say 6 to 8 weeks later, 1 item. And get this, Amazon has that Prime membership, which I'm a member of. 2 days, 1 day service in some cases, 2 day at the most, if it's Prime and if it's sent out by Amazon. And this item was, and it still took 7 to 8 weeks to get me, and 4 attempts at the same item. So, it's crazy. Once, okay, twice, okay. But when it happens for months, almost on a weekly basis, I could say, honestly, it's crazy. So just be warned. A couple things you want to do. Just make sure, you read the rules, read the fine print. and be honest. I've never lied to these people. My frustrations with Walmart, I won't even get into Facebook. Facebook's like, never get out of my blank box, because they make no sense. They do things because they're the gods of the internet, and Zucker blank is a complete moron as far as I'm concerned. But that's my opinion based on my experiences. So I can say that it's not slander or liable. It's like he literally publicly says, he just wants to stay away from people and whatnot. But I'm not part of his little bandwagon. So, and unfortunately, he owns Instagram too, which is kind of sucks. Anyway, I just wanted to do this kind of show on the negative side, personal experiences, and let you share with you what things happened and how businesses operate and what's in their heads and how they're thinking. Honestly, they say customer service. They don't. 9 times out of 10, they don't mean it. Very rarely do they make attempts. And I'll give kudos to a lot of people that do that. But it's hit or miss with these companies. Just be careful what you watch for. My big suggestion is, I'm a big fan of PayPal. When you order things online, especially, use PayPal. They're a third party. You link up your accounts, like fiscal accounts, and then everything's paid through PayPal. With that, you have a third party that can verify the experiences. And it happened with Walmart and Hallmark, and of course with Amazon. There's a certain amount of niceness to have somebody else backing you up. Yes, he did order this. Yes, he ordered this particular item. Yes, he paid for it. No, you didn't deliver. No, you didn't get it. So there's like a guarantee, both from the perspective of placing the order and being able to defend yourself when they say, "Oh, we sent it to you," and like, "No, you didn't." Anyway, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this show. Please love to hear your comments and experiences. Put them below. I'd love to read about various issues you've had with other websites or businesses that have kind of basically, played games with you with your money, and then make promises or bait and switch you. Say, "Hey, buy this," except of course you got to buy all these things. Or, "Hey, buy this. Oh, we're out of stock." All that kind of stuff. I'd love to hear about it. So I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. I physically know people that have gone through most of these experiences with me. So again, this is my show, Reviews, Opinions, and Commentary. My name is Lorenzo Marchessi, and hopefully you've enjoyed, learned something at least, or can take something with you when you go out and shop online, because you can't just assume that everybody is going to be cool. In fact, most big businesses aren't. It's difficult. It's hard to get service, and so on and so forth. Anyway, this is the Commentary, Reviews, and Opinion Show. Again, Lorenzo Marchessi. Don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell so you get notices when I drop new videos. Tell me if you like this kind of show, or if you don't want to hear anything negative. I can not do that, but I just got so frustrated this Christmas 2020 with the pandemic, COVID-19, and it's just the last thing you want to do is buy something or order something and just spend weeks trying to get it or not get it or misshipped or whatever. Also, check out my other shows. My favorite show is the Geek Authority Show. That's where I interview and interview people, real people, actors, writers, directors, producers, cosplayers, public relations people, musicians, theater owners, all kinds of stuff that you find interesting. And if you want to learn how to do stuff or get involved with stuff, they're great little talks. I also have a show called A Mysterious Chamber of Collectibles, where I pull out of my own closet the stuff that I've been collecting for so many years, as well as Unboxing the Geek Authority, where I actually open up stuff for the first time and we both see it for the first time, as well as this show, Commentary, Reviews, and Opinions, is called Talk About, which I get together with family and friends and we talk about various subjects and shows, TV shows like Space 1999 and Cobra Kai, as well as places like Disneyland, where we miss in California Adventure because of the pandemic and close. And it ended up being one show that turned into 3 because it was such an emotional experience for everybody. It was really fun to watch. So please check that out. It's the Talk About show, Disneyland and California Adventure. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.